the brain processes emotions, recalls memory, and other mental processes. But not only that, synthesis of living things, food, medicine, the beginning and end of the universe, energy and soul, polymorphism and behavior, and yoga sciences, many aspects of Bhagavad Gita, which Lord Krishna spoke to the warrior Arjun at the battlefield of Kurukshetra in the Mahabharata 5,000 years ago, can be explained scientifically. I would like to now invite Professor Dr. Vishnu Sharma, Head of Department, Computer Science and Engineering, Convener and Conference Organizing Chair, ICAC3N 2022. Now I request Professor Dr. Vishnu Sharma, Head of Department, Computer Science, to please deliver the conference theme.
Good morning, sir. Very good morning to all. It has been our great pleasure to host 4th IEEE International Conference at Galgotia's College of Engineering Technology. I am thankful to all the participants for adding the 4th IEEE International Conference on Advanced Computing and Communication Networking, organized by the Department of Computer Science of Engineering, Galgotia College of Engineering Technology in Greater Noida. We have received overwhelming response of authors from various reputed national and international colleges, universities, and industry all around the world. Around 1,500 manuscripts have been received across the globe, like USA, Sri Lanka, China, Russia, and America, Dubai, and Bangladesh. With a well-defined review process after quality of filtration, I received 458 papers are successfully registered during this conference. I am very thankful to our Honorable Shri Sunil Galgotia ji, Chairman Galgotia's Education Institutions, and Honorable Shri Dhruv Galgotia ji, CEO Galgotia's Education of Institutions. Also thankful to the Professor Dr. Mohammad Qadri, Director of our GCET, for continuous support and advices which have been greatly helped towards the successful completion of the conference. I am sincerely thankful of our Chief Guest Professor Dr. P. Nagabhushan, Vice Chancellor Vignams, Foundation for Science, Technology and Research, Guntar, Andhra Pradesh. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Guest of honor, Shri Professor Prabhakar Tiwari and Dr. Permanent Dean, Sarda School of Engineering Technology, Greater Noida, and all the legendary keynotes who have joined us with today. The aim of our conference is to provide a good environment of current futuristic research topics to the delegates, and all research topics are broadly categorized in 17 tracks. So there are 17 tracks. In track 1, data analytics, data science, data mining, and track 2, machine learning, its applications, and many such tracks related to the latest technologies. Our technical programs is enriched with various keynote addresses and technical papers. Presently, out of total 54 technical sessions are organized for the paper presentations. All these submission and review process are done through Microsoft CMT software. All the papers were checked for plagiarism using Turton. All the papers have gone through rigorous review process. More than 350 reviewers, experts in various domains, participated in review process and contributed significantly by providing the valuable review comments. All the registered and presented papers will be submitted to IEEE USA for online publications on IEEE Explore Digital Library. It was a great experience for organizing this conference. This conference has shown new light and faith in the strength of partnership and collaboration for development at a broader level. We hope to keep organizing more such conferences in upcoming years. And thankful to all the authors and participants and all our faculty members, those who have done very well. And thanks to Dr. Parman sir, Dean in Sarda University. He has guided and motivated to us. And thanks to Professor Manjeet Singh, he has done lots of work for editing our books last 10 years. Thanks to all the members. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. for the motivating words. Definitely, we will be trying our best for the next another conference also, because it is a series of us. So now I request Professor Dr. Nagabhushan, Vice Chancellor, Vignanand Foundation for Science and Technology Research, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Kindly address the audience. So you are unmuted.
Good morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So, Professor Vishnu Sharma,
Good morning, sir.
guests of honor, authors, participants, delegates, and my dear colleague from Galgotia and all these places. Good morning to all of you. I'm very happy that this conference is getting inaugurated on this day. I'm very, very happy that I'm part of this inauguration of this particular conference. In the opening observations, comments made by the comparer, I was so much impressed that the comparer spoke on mind, intelligence, and consciousness. You know, they were very interesting. At the same time, Dr. Vishnu Sharma touched upon many of the interesting aspects which should be considered in the upcoming conference. Well, then, when we people speak about information, intelligence, etc., the only important things, as you already know, everybody would always speak about it, is only data, information, knowledge, and then I add two more things: intelligence and wisdom. It is not just data, information, and knowledge, it is also intelligence and wisdom. To make the things very simple, I shall put them in terms of 5 A's, so that people can easily comprehend what I am trying to tell. What is data after all? Data is the first A, which is accumulation. That's all. Accumulation of all observations, accumulation of all sensor data, accumulation of data obtained from all different sensors, as in IoT. Accumulation. So first A is accumulation. It's just the raw accumulation of the entire data, right? It is just the accumulation. It is just gathering of data. It is picking up of the data. That's what is A. A is the first accumulation. First A stands for data. Next, what is information? And information is, people tell that it is a processed data, but in fact, it is not just data. It is a level above data. Therefore, there is some organization upon data. In fact, data plus structures upon the data will make it information. Some structures upon the data processed, some structures imposed upon the data, some type of structuring of the data will make it information. So there is some amount of second A coming into picture. The second A is assimilation. It is not just accumulation of data, it is now assimilated data, assimilation. So some type of understanding of data has already happened. And when you have understood the data, it naturally is some order into the data, some structuring into the data. Therefore, it is assimilation. So second A stands for assimilation, which is information. Recall, the first A was accumulation, second A is assimilation. Now comes the next stage. The next stage is the most important stage, like generation of knowledge. That is where you people would love to call as machine learning, deep learning, clustering, data analytics, call whatever the name, but ultimately it is analysis of the assimilated facts. So the third A comes into picture. The third A is now analysis, which today greatly is called analytics. Okay, it is information analytics. So third A comes into picture. So recall, the first A was only simply accumulation of data. Second A is assimilation of data. That also requires a lot of research. How to assimilate the data, it requires a lot of research. And the third stage is analysis, analytics of the data, the most important phase where whole computing, whole informatics is spending its time. That's the most important stage, and that is what is going to happen at least for next 10 years and next 20 more years. This is where we will be spending a lot more time. But what is more important is not just analytics. What is really required is intelligence of taking this analyzed outputs. The intelligence in understanding this analyzed output. Therefore, the fourth A comes, which is ability to absorb the knowledge, absorption. A for absorption. So remember, the first A was accumulation, second A was assimilation, third A was analytics, fourth A is absorption, capability to absorb. That is what is intelligence. In fact, wherever we see, when a teacher teaches in the class, he will be very happy to see whether the students have absorbed. The absorption comes because of intelligence. It is not because of compulsion upon a student, but it is because of intelligence. So that is what is absorption. So absorption stands for intelligence. But then everybody would absorb. Everybody will definitely absorb. Students, practitioners absorb till the day of examination. But after the day of examination, you ask them, it would have got evaporated. Where is absorption? The absorption should get internalized. And that is where is the wisdom. Wisdom comes, how much absorption has been internalized, right? So internalized is naturally the fifth A is how much it has been adapted into the life, in the day-to-day life. So adaptation. So adaptation or adaption. Adaption of what? Adaption of whatever has been absorbed. Absorption of what? Whatever has been analyzed. Analysis of what? Whatever has been assimilated. What is assimilated is whatever from accumulated. So the entire data, information, knowledge, intelligence and wisdom can be just coolly explained in only 5 A's. First A, repeat, the first 5 A, first is accumulation, second is assimilation, third is analysis, the analytics, fourth is absorption, fifth is adoption. That is all. That is all the whole process of computing. That is all the whole process of what you call as big machine learning, deep learning. See, what is learning? Learning is analysis and absorption. Learning is towards understanding. What do I mean by understanding? Understanding is not simply absorption. Understanding is absorption also. So these are all interwoven, and that is all. And that's what you are going to discuss over the next 2 days or 3 days during this conference. And the whole conference is upon that. It is like communication, control, and computing or whatever it is. But then the whole thing is, I really like the computer when she was talking about mind consciousness at the beginning. In fact, amidst all these things, the whole major question is, where is life? This is one poem written by a poet, not definitely a computer scientist, a poet, but it was an English poet. He wrote, where is life? Where is life amidst all these puzzles and puzzles? Where is life? Life is lost in living. Where is life? Life is lost in living. Where is living? Living is lost in the knowledge. Living is lost in the knowledge. Just today, you open up the newspaper, you will see that one person wanted to divorce his wife, badly wanted to divorce his wife, but then he wanted to find a reason. So he injected HIV to this wife, to his wife. See how what a pity it is. He has injected HIV into the wife so that the court can accept the divorce very easily. Now, this man is definitely intelligent because he has the knowledge that if a lady, if a wife is HIV positive, then the court may accept it. But the way he adapted is not wisdom. It is doomsdom. It is not intelligence. It is cunning. So where is life? Life is lost in living. And where is living? Living is lost in the knowledge. Where is knowledge? Knowledge is lost in the information. And that is all the poem written by the English. poet, I have added one more line. Where is information? Information is lost in procuring the data. That is all we do. Today, our whole research community also would start only gathering data. They are lost in gathering the data. They really do not love to absorb whatever has been analyzed. So it's totally lost. So it is absorption is more important. And after absorption, adaptation is more and more important. That's what has got to be understood. Therefore, overall, what is happening to the life? Life is without intelligence. Life is without wisdom. Life is only full of its attempt to procure data, gather data, collect data, and we have been very poor. We have been doing the things so mechanically. Let us bring back life to the value of life. Thank you very much. I'm very happy that I am associated in inaugurating this IEEE conference. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much for the time, and hope the message is very clear that data to information, data to knowledge, data to wisdom is what is called life. And they are all only simple 5 A's as I have described. And let us understand these simple 5 A's and be A in your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you. Now I request Professor Dr. Parmanand, Dean SET, Dean Academics, Sharda School of Engineering Technology, Greater Noida, say a few words. Over to you, sir.
Very good morning to all of you.
Good morning,
Professor
sir.
Bhushan, Dr. Vishnu,
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
and the great anchors, Dr. Pallavi and Professor Dub. It's a nice to have this is your 4th international conference, having the different kind of topics. Topics are related to modern areas, modern domains. The topics are varying from data science, cyber security, village designing, and your AI, machine learning. I'm happy to listen your keynote speech of Professor Nagbhushan, where he has analyzed a lot of things and suggested a lot of suggestions. As far as the AI is concerned, today in the era, AI is encroaching every area, knowingly, unknowingly. It's entering into all the domains of everyone. Today, if we are going from my home to another destination, we are taking the help of the Google Map. The Google Map, we are able to reach from one destination to another destination without asking anyone. And that's the beauty of the artificial intelligence, where things are moving much easier than earlier. Similarly, whenever we are tracking on our mobile or in the laptop, listening any kind of song, different kind of applications are available on the net. But whenever I am going to track it, they are able to reach out my mind because they are having some kind of historical background of my searches. On the basis of different searches, they are able to suggest different kinds of songs that can be sad song, there can be happy song, there can be a dance song, songs, and many more. Similarly, whenever we are going to purchase anything, the apps are able to suggest different kind of clothes for us. Clothes are suitable to our requirement, and they are understanding what kind of sports, what kind of clothes we are looking for. And similarly, there are many AI-based applications are being developed where we need to go in front of the mirror or different applications where we can wear the clothes virtually, or our Google spectacles. You can go and wear the spectacles virtually, and we can check whether that particular cloth or spectacles are suitable for my environment or not. Based on this, we are happy to buy, and whatever we are buying, we are using it comfortably. If you look at the AI encroaching in the area of your artificial agriculture sciences, healthcare, and even in the teaching learning processes, even today, many books are available which are being told as a smart books. Of course, they are e-learning material where the students are learning on their own pace, as well as they are going to assess on their own their level of learning. When they are able to assess their level of learning, then they are able to move forward in those e-learning materials. By doing this, AI is able to help all the learners to have their own pace of learning, and then they are able to learn whatever they are like to. This is also having beneficial for the faculties as well as the students. That is why AI is becoming very much demanding for the students as well for the industry. And we need to train the students on different kind of techniques of the AI. It can be your AI, the subset machine learning, then another subset is your deep learning and so on. If you look at the different kind of techniques which are being used in your machine learning and AI, we are having the supervised learning, unsupervised learning. And within those, we are having different kind of techniques like we are talking about the supervised learning, we are having a regression technique, classification technique, and so on. If we are able to learn those things, then we can devise different kind of apps, portals for different kind of applications. It can be your farming, where we are going to have some kind of robots. We can identify that the fruits are ripened or not. If they are fully ripened, those robots can plugged out those kind of fruits from the trees and can be stored in the warehousing. Some kind of application in the field of AI, it can be your virtual nursing assistant, it can be your medical image analysis, it can be a drug discovery, it can be your AI assisted medical diagnosis, it can be AI assisted robotic surgery. You can have something like fraud detection also. As far as the fast life is concerned, everything we want to have on touch a button. Of course, touch a button is giving the freedom, leisurely-ness to us, but at the cost of our cyber security. Of course, the cyber security, it has to be embedded on the different kind of portal, but even then, many of the times we are not able to use those techniques, and we are getting into our trap of the different kind of your viruses. It may be a ransomware or any kind of wormhole attack, and that is why we are able to hear number of news where many of the people are being cheated by these kind of hackers, and lakhs of rupees have been taken out from their account just by sharing their OTP and so on. And that is why there are different kind of advisories being given by the government of India, state government. Even different kind of experts are giving the different kind of suggestions that not to share your personals, credentials, or the OTP, anyone who is unknown to you. With this, I like to thank you all the organizers who are on this beautiful platform for me to express my views. Thank you.
But sir, I hope the students will
Thank you, sir.
definitely going to take this advantage of your speech. Thank you so much. So now we are having Professor Dr. Prabhakar Tiwari, MMUT, Gorakhpur, Chair, Conference Committee, IEEE UP section, to address the audience. So over to you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So, Professor Nagabhushan, Honorable ex-Vice Chancellor, IIIT Allahabad, and Dr. Vishnu Sharma, Professor Parmanand, dear research scholars and participants, a very good morning to one and all. This is a fourth version of ICAC3N 2022 that has been organized wonderfully. As yesterday I saw that it had an overwhelming response from the research scholars throughout the world. It was really, it gives a very happiness to me being a conference committee chair of IEEE UP section to see that such kind of conferences are being organized in our section. It is really a true international conference. So when we talk about the conference, what is the outcome of the conference and what kind of outcome we should take from the such conferences, that is a very important factor. And that is, in fact, the point of concern. It should be to the person like having the responsibility of seeing the conferences. And I can see that the conferences of IEEE UP section are fulfilling those parameters, those objectives to provide a very good platform to researchers, and especially the beginners in the teaching, education, and researchers at an early stage. Because conferences, publications, they have journal publications as well as conferences, and both are the totally different, both give the totally different kind of exposure. And I can see, as I believe, that conferences gives a different kind of exposure to beginners and especially the researchers in the area that it is not only the kind of research you have done and presented in the paper. Conferences gives a lot more exposure to researchers to learn how to make the paper, how to present the paper, how to respond to the queries of the viewers and participants at the time of presentation, and then finally, after incorporation of those queries into the paper, submit the final version of the paper. So conferences, it imparts a very good role, very important role in the learning and achieving that outcome of these conferences. I hope such conferences like we are participating fulfill the objective of learning to students in the real sense. I congratulate the organizers of this conference, particularly Professor Vishnu Sharma, and I congratulate all the participants also to participate in such a conference and enrich their knowledge to the next level. I wish very grand success to this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such lovely words. Now I request Dr. Jaya Sinha, Deputy HOD, Technical Program Chair, ICAC3N 22, to please say a few words. Over to you, ma'am.
A very warm welcome to everyone. I'm here to present the vote of thanks for the International Conference ICAC3N 2022. It's a great pleasure to have prestigious guests, researchers, faculty members, and students to our 4th IEEE International Conference on Advances in Computing, Communication, Control, and Networking. On behalf of Organizing Committee, I, Dr. Jaya Sinha, Deputy Head of Department CSE, would like to convey my sincere thanks to our Chief Patrons, Honorable Shri Sunil Galgotia Sir, Chairman GI, Honorable Shri Dhruv Galgotia, CEO GI, for their motivation and every kind of support we needed to organize this event in a very grand manner. A very special thanks to our esteemed guest for today, Honorable Dr. P. Nagabhushan Sir, Vice Chancellor, Vignan's Foundation for Science, Technology and Research, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, to accept our invitation and gracing this event. I also like to welcome our next esteemed guest, Professor Dr. Prabhakar Tiwari, MMM, UT Gorakhpur, and Professor Dr. Parmanand Sir, Dean Sharda School of Engineering and Technology, Greater Noida, for gracing our occasion with their esteemed presence. I would also like to thank Professor Asim Kadri, Director GCET, for his guidance and facilities provided to make this event a grand success. I also convey my sincere thanks to IEEE UP section for providing us the technical co-sponsorship and giving us an opportunity to organize this conference. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all the international and national keynote speakers for their valuable contribution and sharing of their knowledge in this conference. We are thankful to all session chairs, reviewers for their participation towards this conference and the research scholar for their research renowned articles. I sincerely thank Professor Dr. Vishnu Sharma Sir, HOD CSE, Convener and Conference Organizing Chair, for his consistent effort, support and encouragement, without which we would have not been able to achieve this milestone for our department and the college. I'm also thankful to the administration for providing us all the amenities towards organizing this event. I acknowledge the unconditional and the unwavering support we received from all faculty members, staff, and students for organizing this conference. Once again, my best wishes and sincere thanks to everyone who have contributed directly or indirectly towards this international conference. Thanking you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I request since although it's an online one, but still I really request all of you to please stand up for the national anthem. Over to the IT team.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. Now, let's have a break for the high tea, and we'll meet at 11:30.
So thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
ITV virtually आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much,
So
sir.
we're doing it
Thank you,
online.
honorable
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Namaskar. Namaskar, Sabhi.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar.
Hello.
Good morning, boss.
Sir, good morning. Good morning.
A very good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, can we start with your session? Okay, so now I request Professor Dr. Malay Kishore Datta, Director, Center for Advanced Studies, Autonomous UP Government Institution, Dean PG Studies and Research at Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow, to address the audience. Over to you, sir.
Okay, good morning. So, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning to all of you. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizer of the event of this conference, Professor Sharma and all other dignitaries in the institution. It's a great privilege for me to come and address in the fourth IEEE International Conference on Advances in Computing, Communication, Control, and Networking, which promises to be one of the meaningful deliberations and discussions in the area. As a computer scientist, I normally work on artificial intelligence and some accelerated computing stuff. And from that point of view, I'll have some of my inputs and in this talk. Any conference is always a privilege for anyone to attend. Of course, virtually the limitations, it's quite limited these days. But then when we go to any conference, we make a lot of friends, a lot of networking. So I wish the participants of the conferences takes away a lot of professional networking and some cooperative and collaboration, meaningful alliances to work in this. I will try to keep my talk in a very short manner. Just talking about the highly, accelerated computing and the artificial intelligence, mainly into the specific deep learning models. The question is artificial intelligence. I'll talk only on artificial intelligence for a while because I work on these areas. See, artificial intelligence is something which has actually taken the world to a great, impact in the last few years. If you see the Fortune 500 company, they have revealed in NASSCOM survey, the top 100 CEOs of Fortune 500 company has, in that survey, they say 62% of their revenue, they're going to invest in artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning models. So which means all the sectors, starting from the healthcare sector to the automobile sector, to the manufacturing sector, to the electronic sector, everywhere there's deep influence of accelerated computing and artificial intelligence. Now, automatically the question comes, I mean, what makes it so popular and why the resurgence all of a sudden? If you see in US, in academics, courses like deep learning and generative adversarial learning, they actually started coming in United States in 2011, 12, just after 2010, in the last one decade. And India, I think in the academics, they've started taking seriously these courses, maybe 2013, 14, 15. But if you really see, the deep learning model specifically, it works on back propagation. And Newton gave this hundreds of years back. Newton has given you the back propagation, the chain derivative, the chain differential rule. Even if we talk about SGD, the stochastic gradient model, 1956, and even the backprop was 1974, 1973. So the question comes all of a sudden, when we already had the basic mathematical formulations, it's so many years back, why the resurgence all of a sudden? So that's the interesting point that comes. I'll tell you, there are basically three main reasons that has caused this resurgence. The one, the AI models, specifically the deep learning models, are data driven, and they try to find underlying features from the data, which actually means that they're data hungry. You need a lot of, information to pump in the system. For example, let's say I'm a 45-year-old man. For example, let's say I have my own experience, and you want to make your computer, as intelligent as a 40-year-old man, and which actually means that you're going to pump in the experience of 40 years in 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, whatever time you have. So how the parallel sequencing, for the audience, you should know the sequential learning. For example, there's a small kid. There's a 3-year-old kid, and you're teaching the kid, look, this is how a dog looks like, this is how a cat looks like, this is how an elephant looks like, this is how a tiger looks like. And the learning is sequential. A human being cannot learn parallelly. I mean, you cannot teach a kid simultaneously about a dog and a cat and a lion and a tiger and an elephant. It has to be sequential. And similarly, if you go 10 years back, it was all sequentially. The computing models were learning in a sequential manner. All of a sudden, what happened is, there are some companies like NVIDIA who has come up with technologies like CUDA, CUDA. If the audience, some of you have heard about CUDA, the diversified architecture where there's massive parallel learning. And that massive parallel learning has actually boosted, the accelerated computing stuff where GPUs have come up into picture, and what previously used to take 24 hours to train, maybe you can do it in 24 minutes. So that's a power. And of course, the size of the data has gone high with the distributed network architecture. If you really see, maybe we were carrying mobile phones 100 MBs. Maybe if you go 10 years back, the mobile phone size was maybe 50 MB, 100 MB. Today we are carrying GBs and DBs. So the size of the data has gone very high. So the enormous amount of data that you want to train a network has really gone high. That's the number two. That's the reason number two. And reason number three is, all the big players, talk about Google or talk about Microsoft, they all have come up with their own architectures. Google DeepMind has given you a TensorFlow sequential model. I think most of you work on TensorFlow sequential model where, and interestingly, they have made it open source. I mean, it's available for any young kid, any young AI scientist who want to start working on deep learning models. They have got freeware sources in form of a TensorFlow sequential model. Of course, Microsoft have given you a CNTK model. There's a PyTorch model. There's so many models that have come up which actually help the AI scientists to work on them and solve their particular problem which they are working on. So these are mainly the three reasons which has come up. So as a AI scientist, as an AI professional, you must feel privileged and blessed that this is the era. And I think some of you must be knowing NVIDIA has launched 800 series of cards, which has got massive accelerated computing stuff. So today, for example, and now look at the artificial intelligence level. For example, I'm a person. I can look at a dog and so it will give me a problem to identify between a dog and a cat. Okay, I'll look into a dog and say it's a dog. Now look into the intelligence. I look into the dog from the left. Still, I say it's a dog. I'll look it from the right, from the top, from the bottom, from the from any orientation. I'll look into the dog and I'll still say it's a dog. So the intelligence level goes that way. Now, even if you even if you don't show me the whole animal, you show me only a part of the dog, maybe the face of the dog or the tail of the dog or the leg of the dog, and still as a person, I'm able to give a decision that's a dog. Now, if you want your machine to be so much intelligent that even looking at a portion of the animal, a cropped image, still you're in a position to classify the object, that amount of intelligence is required. And just imagine how difficult it will be. You cannot have a perfect logical or a mathematical model actually for object recognition and taking decisions at time. Now look into the fascinating examples. Self-driving cars. MIT in Massachusetts, NVIDIA has sponsored a massive project. They are driving cars at 60 miles per hour, and it's a driverless system. Now let's say I'm a driver. I'm driving a car at 50 miles per hour. Just imagine, there is an animal that as an intrusion that comes on, or there's a sharp turn, or I have to take, and just imagine how much real time is it like. I look into the animal, the persistence of vision fires, the neurons fire, it goes to my brain, and then I have to actuate the steering and the clutch and the gear, and everything has to be done in real time, and you expect the computer to do that. So just imagine how much parallel processing stuff has to be done, and what is the precision accuracy that is required for this kind of stuff. So to sum up the things, the GPUs that have come up, maybe the 800 series, the CUDA technology, which is actually a patented technology of NVIDIA, CUDA, C-U-D-A, Computing Unified Diversified Architecture, that has been a big game changer. The computers can process parallelly, they can learn parallelly. Even if you give them the computer to learn 100 set of animals to recognize, it'll learn 100 of them parallelly. So that's a part of the architecture. Okay, now having said all these things, the neuron that fires in a human brain to take an object, to take a decision, and the hand, the legs that actually actuates, let's say you're driving a car, and if you want to do that with the same precision for a driverless car, just imagine how much computing power is needed. So that's the fascination about it. I tell you, not maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, you go to a hospital, before you see a doctor, you will see a computer, and the computer will feed you all data and give you a decision what may be the preceding stages and what doctors to consult, what kind of tests what kind of diagnostic tests or pathological tests you are supposed to do. The computer will take decisions, or the preliminary, screening and preliminary, diagnostic steps will be done by a computer, and it will happen very soon. Already, trials are going on in the US and some other labs, and this is going to. So what I mean to say is, AI is a very prospective science, and the mother of all inventions, all disruptive inventions, is based on some basic science, and the basic science that goes here is the power of AI that basically depends on the stochastic gradient models or the back propagation model. So my message to all the listeners and audience of this conference is, AI is a futuristic technology. If you're a young scientist, if you're a young student, there is enormous opportunity to work in AI as a researcher, as an industry professional, maybe a PhD student, or a research, anything. It's going nowhere in the next 5 to 10 years. Even if you want to put some investment, you want to do a startup, using some getting some venture capitalists to fund your project, the returns are obvious actually. So that's what I have to say. And being an AI scientist, I really look forward to the sharp minds of the country to come and join, the opportunities that galore at artificial intelligence models. And having said that, I once again thank you, the organizers of this event, who invited me to talk in this, and Professor Sharma and all the other organizers of this event, and wish that this event really becomes a lot of meaningful and successful for all the participants to carry away a lot of meaningful stuff, networking, research collaborations, etc. Thank you so much once again for your patience and your time to listen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. As you said that you are having lots of opportunities for the young minds. Definitely our students going to get the benefits of that. Thank you so much. In future, we are going to disturb you for that also, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. And now we are moving towards the tea break. Then we'll be having a session after 45 minutes.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Pragya.
Ma'am, actually, I didn't receive any mail or time regarding the odd link. I want to confirm that am I on the right link? My presentation is today, right?
This is not a session link. This is actually the inaugural session. So you must be receiving your session link on your email ID, the ID which they have shared you. Who's your session chair? Can you tell me?
Ma'am, actually, I don't know. I have received the mail in which this link was provided.
This link was for the inaugural session, dear.
Ritu ma'am, excuse me. I am replying.
Okay.
The schedule and the Zoom meeting link is available on our website on the home page.
Okay,
Please
sir.
check the website and check your schedule and accordingly join the session. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yesterday I got a call, but they said ki, no, your paper ID is 921, so it will be scheduled tomorrow. But today
Okay.
also okay, from home page I will search.
Okay. If you received the mail, accordingly join that particular session link. Okay, for the Zoom meeting.
Good morning, everyone. On the behalf of 4th IEEE International Conference on Advances in Computing, Communication Control and Networking, welcome you all. Now, I would request Professor N. Badal, Director, Rajke Engineering College, Bijnor, to present and address the audience. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's slightly preponed. Okay. And I want to share my screen, but this is disabled. Please enable. Are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
So host disabled participant screen sharing. So
Sir, I'll just check. Just give us 1 second. 1 second for it.
Yeah, you can do it, sir.
Sir, it's enabled now. You can share your screen with us.
Okay.
डायरेक्टर साहब गुड मॉर्निंग.
नमस्कार जी, गुड मॉर्निंग. कैसे हैं डॉक्टर विष्णु? डॉक्टर विष्णु कैसे हैं?
बढ़िया, फाइन सर.
अच्छा. Is this presentable to all of you or not?
Yes, sir.
Available?
You're audible and your screen is also visible to us.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Some screens are here. So first of all, welcome to all of you. For this presentation, I want to log in somewhere else also, but that's different. So this is my discussion is concerned with the recent trend and technology, framework and application of IoT, Internet of Things. Is this visible? And my marking is also visible to all of you or not, ma'am? Whatever I am performing on the screen, is this visible to all of you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whatever I am writing on the screen, is this also visible?
Earlier when you had marked, yes, sir, it's visible to us.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So the outline of this keynote address is just basic themes of the IoT, that characteristic features, advantages, disadvantages, growth, technology and middleware, hardware, software. Then the framework, conceptual and architectural framework, which is applicable to the IoTs. Then application, issues, challenges, and one example I have taken into consideration to make a discussion if time will be permit to us. This is the energy saving monitoring and security system which we have developed at KNIT Sultanpur and available to all of you. Then recent research topics which are available in the field or in the domain of the IoT. Then this is this. The Internet of Things is the network of physical objects, devices. Objects may be devices, vehicles, buildings, and other items embedded with electronic software, sensor, and network connectivity. It means just because of this concept, we are able to interconnect the devices, physical devices, over the electronic media for exchanging and interacting with the human and data. So it is connecting most of the physical object in the world using wireless, and it is able to collect and exchange the data using embedded sensor. It is very important things in the IoT, that is embedded sensor which are required. In other words, in different words, we can say physical object, then various type of controller, sensor, actuators plus internet is equal to IoT. This is the simple physical object and connected with some media. Then this, or we can say, first of all, gather the information, enrich the information, stream the information data, manage, acquire, organize, and analyze. That is equal to the IoT with connectivity of data center, enterprise, or cloud server. or we can say gather, consolidate, connect, collect, assemble, manage, analyze is equal to IoT. Or in is all these different type of themes provided by the different researchers. In a nutshell, we are making the connection at any moment or at any time, at anywhere mean at any place concerned, with anything connection it's mean in anytime connection mean in day, night, on the movement, indoor, outdoor, everywhere we can make the interaction, or between the PC, between the human to human, human to things, and this type is the connection is known as the IoT. If it is very much clear to most of the people who are available here today, they are very much familiar with the IoT in a broad sense. It is a platform, or it is an architecture, or it is a theme which provide the interconnection between the things, amongst the things, with human being. In a nutshell, we can say this. So various characteristic, feature, advances, and disadvantages we summarize here in a single way. That is basic characteristics of the IoTs are intelligence, connectivity, sensing, expressing, energy, safety, etc. Energy we are taking here as a characteristic for our on which we have to make a discussion. That project we have included in here. It's mean using the intelligence, a feature will be provided, mean it will provide the virtualization of the devices. If this features came into the picture, then definitely integration of the devices will be the advantages for us. But whenever we will introduce the interconnectivity or integration of the more devices, it is well known to all of us, the security will be degraded. It's mean here one of the research issue may exist, one research issue with the field of with the characteristic of intelligence for providing the provision of the device virtualization. It's mean integration of devices. How can we enhance the security? So this is one of the recent trend which came into the picture in 2021 for improving the security in the IoT devices. Then connectivity that provide the high speed, it's mean that should be reliable. It will provide the reliable, secure, bidirectional communication. If bidirectional communication is there, this is the feature is provided by this. It's mean a privacy will be loose. Therefore, one research issue is there for improving the privacy. How can we improve the privacy in IoT devices? Because devices available to the outer world, privacy may be degraded. Sensing, endpoint management provided by the IoT, it's mean data collection is enhanced. It's mean it will become the complex. So how can we minimize the complexity is another issue. Expressing the small devices, it's mean reduce base, it will degrade the flexibility. Flexibility, how can we improve? Then in the same way, energy, then real-time analysis, improve the engagement, then the compliance of such type of, it's another issue. Safety, it's mean tire management, it will become the disadvantage. So how can we improve the tire management, third tire, fourth tire, and any tire management, how can we introduce in the IoT devices? It is the another challenge, it's another research issue for this domain. It is well-known themes. Up to the 2015, 9 billion number of connected devices were there, but it is expected in 2025 about 1 trillion number of devices will be connected. This so technologies which are included in the IoT, this RFID, well-known, Wi-Fi, barcode, Zigbee, sensor in smartphones, and there are so many new technologies are coming in this picture, the cloud and etc. also. So different type of hardware, middleware, and software which are available for the IoT. In brief, Arduino, Nano Pro Mini that use the Open IoT as a middleware and Eclipse IoT as a software. Raspberry Pi that use the Open Remote as a middleware, Google Google below is a software. This list of hardware, different type, Azure, AWS, IntelliJ, these type of hardware are available. Then Open IoT, Remote, Open Hub, Oracle Fusion, these type of middleware. On the middleware, it's a very challenging task nowadays. So researcher may focus, how can we improve the middleware? It's mean where we can make the communication with the hardware in terms of accessibility of the software. That is the big challenge, and here researcher may execute different type of work. IoT conceptual framework, and we have discussed that sensing, gathering the data, consolidation, connect, collect, assemble, and manage. These are the basic themes we have already discussed in the IoT. So these are summarized in a labeled architecture. At the level 1, there is a smart sensor, application framework, IoT communication. It's mean, first of all, sensing from the outer world is the one of the important tasks. Then making the consolidation at level 2. Level 2, it's mean gather the gateway information, data consolidation, that it consolidation framework is available at the gateway level. And this case and published, these all are the concerned with the. Are you getting this, Vice, or not? Are you getting? Hello.
Yes, sir. You are very much audible and clear to us.
Acha, actually, there's this is the one of the drawbacks in which one-way communication, like one-way communication, because sometimes it shows that your internet connection is unstable. That's why sometimes this type of queries occurs in our mind. So then, Informix time series services, that is considered to register the devices, collect from things, and manage the time series. That is the transactional management is basic need of the IoT. So one is the research issues here. How can we make the timeline on transactional basis? This is another issue. Here researcher may work, how can we make the thread, how can we make the timeline, how can we sequencing, how can we perform the parallelization and different type of computer science aspects, how can we conceptually introduce here. So this is a recent trends for this. Then a data management center is there, server management center is there. So these all are a previous thing on which we can perform the execute. This is the simplest conceptual framework that is covered in the labeled architecture. Then as a architectural framework, on the lowest one, these are the devices are available. Then gateway, intelligent gateway is created. Then service provider exists. Then infrastructure services are there. IoT services, here the theme is concerned with IoT services. For example, if we are taking the user interface, in the oldest way, that was the simplest static web pages were there. Then dynamic web page there. On that we can perform the execution of the queries. Then active web page there. But there was the limitation there. If you want to introduce more than one server on a single platform, then we move toward the component object model, or we move to the Corva architecture. So user interface using this type of technology is recent trend, on which simplest thing, how can we make the interface of user with identification, security, and integration, and how can we process the event handling, event scheduling is another issue that may be in the field of the distributed architecture and any type of architecture, but event scheduling, event processing is the important task and important issue. Then developer services are there for the different type of application, and these are the, and that is covered in the labeled architecture, 7-layer architecture, just referred by the as per OSI model, the physical devices and controller, the things in the IoT that exist on the lower level. Then communication and processing unit on the second level, that is connectivity. Then is data element analysis and transformation. This is another is level 3rd, then data accumulation and storage at level 4, at stage 5 data abstraction, aggregation and access, then reporting and on application level, and then collaboration of the processes at the outermost at the uppermost level. It is introduced as the architectural view. This is just simple of the OSI 7-layer architecture. This is compatible to the 7-layer architecture. This is given by the Cisco, and which is very applicable to recent trades of this. And that can be reframed. Previous architecture, conceptual architecture may be considered as it's in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 architecture. In the 1 to 7 architecture, it's also introduced by this thing. So same themes are there, but it is representation, architectural representation may be introduced here because of the limitation. Very limited time is given to this, so this is very important thing what we can focus on. So then event process, IoT processing is there. One simple example we have taken into consideration on single way, the continuous complex event stream processing. It's mean continuous continuous mean there is a alert between the 2 time spent is very much difference, or in intermediate time between 2 events is very low. It's mean continuous calculate the sustained temperature. For example, a temperature we are taking the remote machine occurring at least 5 times every minute. We are saying at least 5 times every minute, but it may be not 5 times, it may be greater than 5 times, or you can continuously involve with temperature. Whenever temperature is different, then it is inside. The code may be written on middleware as well as somewhere. Class some alert as a C, sensor ID is taken, sustained as alert type from the channel is range for 60 minutes. Whatever range you may decide, grouped by the sensor ID, having some alert greater than 5 for this, and it may be introduced. This will, in this way, we will introduce the number of 5 is greater than, it will make the more accurate system for this. Same way we can say IoT software components, IoT device hardware, then IoT device software for gather data, enrich and communication, then edge computing, then IoT server, manage, acquire, organize. So all one thing is this, another thing is this, lower one is this. This is the physical one, that is the middle one, that is the application one. So all these layers are summarized in this way, where which type of software components are performing their activity. For example, at the top level, application for reporting, analyzing and for controlling. These type of applications are available for making the communication with the outer world. It's mean that is taking the instruction from the outer world and making the communication to the outer world with the use of this type of middleware, this type of hardware devices are there. So this is the device hardware, or we can say the software component, where which type of components are available in this IoT component. So again, we can say the same architecture may be realized one lower one level, second one tier, and this is the 3rd level in infrastructure are there for this. Different type of application, traffic monitoring. For example, if you want to make the smart city, smart means self monitoring and monitoring control and reporting tool. That is the smart reporting tool. Then healthcare, agriculture, security, self-monitoring and reporting tool is the, if one is able to execute in a smart way, it means that one is able to monitor itself and report for the another type of execution, that is smart computing are there. So IoT required basically not only the high performance computing, but it's also required the smart computing. It's mean continuous monitoring and continuous reporting. It's means self monitoring and self reporting is also there. Healthcare, agriculture, security, transport, logistic, and cars, it's a smart city, a smart home, and different type of here most recent themes are available for the research issues. Privacy, security and connectivity. on the basis of first previous slides, it is very much clear. One is the issue for privacy, security, and connectivity. If we are providing the different type of connectivity, security, so there is a balanced behavior is required amongst these three components on the basis of this. So this is the basic challenge. How can we provide the balanced behavior in IoT devices? This is the simplest example which energy saving monitoring and security system that is implemented at KNIT Sultanpur by the project two developer. And I will provide this detail or report will be provided to all of you. You may find how can a simple IoT devices create the helpful for saving the energy, and how can it be helpful for monitoring the different devices, and how can we secure the system. For example, it's simple. If in a room, what type of electricity is required, what type of light required, what type of cooling required, what type of illusion is, all type of requirement may be analyzed. On the basis of that is monitoring and providing the effective, simple way, effective way light is provided, and I also provide the security architect that is used for. These are used material for this. This is simple example. The simplest example, how can implement the IoT for this type of activity. So this was the working principle. Any door can be treated as a half duplex mode of transaction of object between two spaces. This was the work. Given the floor plan and ability to know the direction of number of such transaction, we can complete with space. It means one is entering in the room and what type of requirement is there, what type of need is there, fan, electricity, TV, and other devices are there. Decoder and relays are there for this type of this. RPI3 central unit is developed by this for controlling the UNO interface as required. Then Arduino soft is written. It's the code system that is not very much required for the major discussion. What simple thing is this? In a simple we are analog read at any moment and analog read for this moment, on which serially providing the direction for type of execution. This will happen this way, this will happen in this way. This is the direction and direction updates for provided by, and simple applying the all sensors through the gates. Through the gates, all sensors are implemented in this way. So recent trend of IoT, the we are proposing that moment the Internet of Thing is not the Internet of everything, IoT. We are can move towards the IoE, is networked connection more relevant and valuable than ever before, turning information into action that create new capabilities, richer experience, and unprecedented economic opportunity for business, individual, and countries. This is its mean we can move from IoT towards to IoE. So IoE is the intelligent connection of people, process, data, and things. Pillar of the IoE: people, data, process, and think. People well known, data is well known, process. This is the another view which may be introduced in the IoE, delivering the right information to the right person or machine at right time. It means at what moment, what type of information is required by whom or by what, which machine is providing on the correct time. This is the very important concept on which research is required to how can we make this process in this way. Then things is this way, physical devices, one device is connected. What if that is not processed on the correct time? Then IoT, then the utilization of IoT will be minimized. So for improving the IoT connection or for improving the performance of the IoT, the process pillar is most important. So this is another key challenge So these are the research topic, WSN, AI, machine learning, security, semantic web. It's important task for IOE. If you are not able to create the semantic web amongst the machines, among the everything, then it will make the difficulties. Then RFID and smart city are there. So in a concluding, because of the limitation, the IoT can connect the devices embedded in various systems to the internet. But in a simple way, it is examine the physical object controller plus internet is equal to IoT, and future is hybrid AI, smart IoT. IoT and agriculture and farming, which is under drone technology, and these type of things are implemented. Daily type, traffic monitoring system, shopping monitoring system, tapping, and overall we can say IoT towards to IOH, mean IoT, and then IO now, Internet of Noun. Internet of nouns, it means internet of noun is the name of the person, place or thing. It means person, place or thing. We can make the interaction using the internet. This is the simple, these are the references we have taken, and thanks to all of you. If any input, please give me your input.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. We are very happy to have you here. Thank you for such an informative session.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vishnu ji. कैसे हैं सब? बढ़िया? चलिए.
Fine. Bye.
All right, the next will be Dr. Deepak Garg. He will be joining soon. He's on his way to join. So after that,
I have joined.
Okay, perfect, sir. We were waiting for you only. It's too good to have you. So now I request Professor Dr. Deepak Garg, Director leading India.ai and Dean, School of Computer Science and Engineering, Bennett University, and Director, NVIDIA Bennett Center of Research on Artificial Intelligence. Sir, I really request you to please address the audience.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Ritu. And thank you very much, Dr. Vishnu, for inviting me, and also the Galgotia Group of Institutions for organizing this wonderful conference. So today's keynote is about the key trends in artificial intelligence in year 2022. So as part of our leading India.ai initiative, we were doing an annual review, and we came up that how the field has evolved in the last year, so that the budding researchers and the people who want to work on the latest technologies, so they can work on the things which are at the forefront today. So if we try to classify the various domains in artificial intelligence, then mostly we can classify them into few areas. So let me pick up some of those areas and let you know that what is the latest going on in those areas. So most of the applications now have image classification and image generation as a basic task as part of the artificial intelligence system lifecycle process. So when we come to image classification, then we talk about ImageNet now, which is the latest upgrade in this category of image classification. So some of the benchmarks are very much necessary for us to know, because what happens when the students or the teachers, they are trying to work on artificial intelligence, so they end up in doing something which is slightly old, maybe 6 months old, maybe 1 year old. But when it comes to accuracy, then if we already have a validated...
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but can you please turn on your video if possible? Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So am I visible properly? Yeah, so we end up in doing something which is slightly older, so which takes away a lot of time from the researchers' hand, because they are not working on the latest technology. So other trends which are coming is image generation. So here the latest model that is now prevalent is STL10 and CFAR10. So which basically is based on the distance score, which is also sometimes called as Fracket Inception Distance Score, which is FID. Okay, then when we talk about deep fake detection, so which is again a very important constituent of many AI research applications, then mostly we are talking now the recently evolved face forensics as well as celeb DF. So which is now the latest happening in the area of deep fake detection. So then there is next set of applications which are based on human pose estimation. So in human pose estimation, a lot of researchers are doing their research. And now the latest happening in the last few months has been on lead sports poses, which is also known as percentage of correct key points, PCK, and also average mean per joint position error, MPJPE, also known as human 3.6M. So this was mostly based on image category. Then if we come to semantic segmentation, then we mostly are talking now about cityscapes. And in medical image segmentation, people have started talking about CVC, clinic, DB, and also K-Vasir SEG. And in face detection and recognition, we have now a new standard created by NIST, which is also known as FRVT, Face Recognition Vendor Test.
नहीं उनको हम फोन कर देंगे गलगोटिया यूनिवर्सिटी के, कम से कम उन्हें पता लगेगा तो वो बुरा मानेंगे, है ना? ना सर्टिफिकेट मिला उनको ना कुछ मिला. अच्छा कोई बात नहीं, अभी हम बैठे
प्लीज ऑल ऑफ यू म्यूट. हेलो.
Okay, so thank you very much for muting your mic. So now I will also talk about one of the latest applications that have recently come, that is known as GPT-3, which is now opened by the company owned by Elon Musk. So this GPT-3 has beaten all the previous chat platforms in terms of accuracy and in terms of relevance. And what is distinguishing this GPT-3 apart from accuracy is that it can take the context in which you want to use it. For example, some of the use cases, what the people are doing is that, let us say if you have a book, that big book can be a fiction book or a non-fiction book. And based on that book, if you want to ask some questions or do some question answers, or you want to get some statistics or some key insights from that book, then you can train this GPT-3 using this API. You can do a transfer learning and you can train it on the new book, and then you can use that application for question answering from that particular book. So similarly, if you have some domain related question answers, for example, let us say a company is working on a particular product and it wants to integrate this GPT-3 in their call center. So then they can train this GPT-3 on the databases of previous queries asked by the customers, and then do a transfer learning using a deep learning model. So then this GPT-3 can be used for particular service request answering for that particular application. So, and also recently, just few days back, you have seen a very good news from Cambridge University, where one of the Indian PhD students has solved a 2500-year-old problem related to Panini grammar. So this has a very profound applications in natural language processing. So if this research goes ahead well, then we can break the next frontier of natural language processing. So these were some of the key trends in the past year, and a lot of things are happening on day-to-day basis. So the key challenges in current AI ecosystem is, one is that explainability of AI, because when we are talking about critical applications which are related to defense, which are related to healthcare, which are related to the safety of a human being. So there now, as per GDPR rules also, it has been made compulsory, mandatory, that system should be explainable in terms of that why it is giving a particular kind of decisions. If the system is rejecting or giving some false positive answers or some true negative answers, then there should be explanation that why it is giving those particular answers on that particular instance of the problem. So apart from explainability of AI, another popular challenge right now is keeping human in the loop. So people are talking about
Deepak,
artificial.
Sir, excuse me. Hello, Deepak.
जी बताइए.
Sir.
Yes, please go on.
There are two voices coming from your end. So, sir, while addressing, please turn off your speaker or just adjust the volume of your system down.
Your voice is breaking, means I can't understand what you have said. Okay, so let me be more clear here that we are talking about the challenges in AI. So the key challenges, as I talked about previously, are explainability of AI and human in the loop. So people are fearful of artificial general intelligence, that the artificial intelligence can break its frontier and can move towards a general intelligence, which will be, which have many more extreme applications of AI. So some of the theoretical aspects, means which is a possibility, is that artificial intelligence can also go beyond the limitations of human intelligence. So in that case, there is a real fear in the minds of scientists and in the minds of the society that artificial intelligence can take over human race. So for that not to happen, people has devised a criteria that there has to be a human in the loop. And to validate that particular theory, the US Army has also come up with a principle that and has also proved it, that any man-machine system is always better than a man-man system and a machine-machine system. So that means every system should be having a human in the loop. So the final decision should be taken by the human, which is part of the artificial intelligence system, because the human will have some kind of empathy, some kind of sympathy, some kind of super judgment than the machine. So in case of the probabilistic errors that are associated with artificial intelligence, it can take some drastic decisions, and some of the systems are such that it can have profound applications. For example, let us say if you apply it in defense applications and the system by error releases some missile or some other weaponry on the enemy, then it can start a war also. So that is why people are saying that there has to be a human in the loop. And the other challenges in AI, specifically in India, are the lack of researchers in the field of artificial intelligence. So my earnest request to all of you, to all the people who are participating in this wonderful conference is that try to do core research in AI. Most of us are only working on some models built on some databases, and a lot of content is available on GitHub also. Ready-made models are available, ready-made code is available. So that will not help us in the long run. So my request in this short keynote is all of you that let us go to the core areas of AI, which is explainability of AI, human in the loop, data bias. So all those are the key core research areas in AI. And so with this motivation, I will again thank you, Professor Vishnu, for the invitation. So if there are any questions, I will be happy to answer.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you. All right, so that's end for this from the morning session. From here, let's all just meet at 4:30 p.m. for the validatory note. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, is there anyone? Mohit sir? Am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Mohit sir is here?
No.
Noreen sir? Am I audible to you? Narendra sir, I am Mamta Joshi. I have sent a paper over here to present. My schedule was between 11:15 to 1:15. I have joined that meeting since 11:30, but it not seems like कि अब कुछ होने वाला है.
Sorry to
Okay,
interrupt
give me
you,
1 minute,
Mamta
ma'am. Let
ma'am.
me.
Yes.
Nareen sir, sorry to interrupt you. We actually have our keynote
Yes, ma'am.
speaker with us. So, Mamta ma'am, can you please share your doubt on the chat, and Nareen sir will be able to help you with there. I hope that's fine with you.
Ritu ma'am, I have actually a query.
That's what I'm saying. Our keynote speaker, this session is for keynote speaker. He has joined.
Okay.
So please mention your query in the chat box. He'll be able to help you in the chat box.
To Nareen sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So now I request Professor Dr. Celestine Wendy, School of Creative Technologies, University of Bolton, UK, board member, IEEE Sweden section. I request you to please address the audience. Celestine, sir.
Hello, Celestine sir. How are you, sir?
Celestine, sir, you're muted, so we are not able to hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, perfectly now.
Okay. Yeah.
Professor Celestine, good afternoon.
Yeah,
From
good afternoon.
India.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just
Myself,
finished.
Dr. Vishnu Sharma.
All right, nice to meet you. Yeah. How many minutes do I have? How many minutes do I have?
Yeah, you can speak up to 10 to 15 minutes. 15
Okay.
minutes, don't worry about that.
Okay. I'm asking because people like us, we are paid to talk. So I can talk to you tomorrow, so to make sure that everybody's awake.
So we will be happy to hear out from words from you.
Yes, I just finished a meeting, a 2 hours course now with Watson, so I was not too sure. So I've been awake since 5 a.m. here, and I slept 12 p.m. in the night. So I've not slept very well, but then I can still talk. Number one, I want to welcome everybody to this conference. This is one of the best conferences in the century for now in terms of information. And something about life, I keep telling people, is about currency, two currency in life. Number one is what I call performance currency. Performance currency is what you need to use if you are a scholar. In other words, you don't need eye service. You know what I mean by eye service? You don't need to do a particular thing for people to promote you. You don't need what you need to do is produce results. So the more results you produce, the more your results speaks for you. But one thing we are learning about this conference is about creativity in artificial intelligence. How do we use? Now, I just finished a conference where we use artificial intelligence for business. How do you use it to predict? How do we use it to solve cybersecurity? How do we use it to solve problems, in energy? So if you look at all those things, you realize that it is so much more that we have to use artificial intelligence in solving this problem that would have been a major problem, for century. For instance, let me show you a little bit, just in 3 minutes, what we can do with what do you call it, artificial intelligence. You see, okay. Now look at here. What is AI? Look at here. Some of us, we are still in this area that we have not realized how much AI can do in terms of planning. We have covered the planning, covered machine learning, natural language processing, robotics. No, and most of us are doing research in supervised learning. We're doing in what we call Education 4.0, which is just the lower. Can we move to more? Can we move more than Education 4.0? Can we move into next generation artificial intelligence, which exactly China is doing now? Next generation intelligence, where we have to consider a kinds of different ways where machine learning can be beneficial to the society. It's not just supervised learning, having the kind of algorithm that we can use in Google Colab or use in Anaconda or use in Jupyter, to design. No, I'm talking of being creative. Recently, we got a project, 3 million project with EU that is starting in February, and we're getting another 100,000 with UK VI. What is the goal? We are looking at a situation. It's not metaverse or what Facebook has. It's looking at a situation. You come into the room and you begin to use artificial intelligence and games to solve people who have depression, people who want to kill themselves, who wants to commit suicide, or people who are not ready to do top research, people who are depressed. So how do you expand with what you are doing? So I call it meaningful comprehension, ability to structure discovery by creativity. And that is what moves you up. So someone said, oh, have an impact. I was talking to a friend yesterday. He said, have an impact, go and get money, funding. I said, you cannot get funding for your research if you are not productive. So I am challenging everyone in this conference. You have to be productive in your own thing. Don't be crazy in producing. They say Celestine is very crazy. You came into the school 13 months and you have 59 publications in 1 year. And I said, no. I told them it's even very small, because if next year it will be ×2. They said, how are you going to do it? I said, because it's only crazy people our world need. Crazy researchers, crazy thinkers, ability to have what we call big data visualization of problems and being able to solve this problem, then use it in targeted marketing. So what we are doing in this conference cut across every area of life, cuts across every vicinity, So we are getting money in, we are getting ideas in, we are making impact on society. That is what this conference is about. That is what we are encouraging you to do. Be a crazy thinker, using all these solutions that we have already used before, looking at classical learning, looking at machine learning, looking at ensemble method, different algorithms. So we need more. We need more researchers. We need more people that will use much more, bringing a whole scope of research, especially in machine learning, especially in artificial intelligence. Normally I say artificial intelligence is the father, the mother is machine learning, the child is deep learning. How do we expand our scope in this? So this is where we are going to. And I challenge everyone in this conference to let you know that be what we call expectant of your next place in life. There was time I was in Africa. There were time I was in China. There were time, in fact, by second, third, I'll be in Vellore. I'll be in India, for the first time. Even though I've spoken in Indian in 75 places, but I'll be in India next. So some of you who are around in India, I'll be there for 2 weeks. So I'll be there to see some of you, So why? Collaboration. So we have this, what we call, expectation. What is our expectation as an engineer? What is our expectation as a computer analyst, as a computer technologist? What is your expectation as someone who uses computer science to develop solutions? Because expectation is the womb of your future manifestation. Until that you have that expectation, you cannot manifest anything. So I want us to start thinking, how do I become creative? How do I collaborate? Because the more people you know, the more the channel of blessings. The more people you know, the more paper you will have, the more citation you will have. So the more you know, the more you develop. The more you know, the more you increase, the more you meet and work with others. So add people like us in your LinkedIn, because we can make a difference in your life. We can add something to what you are doing. Become support, not just support vector machine, no, but support human machine that helps you to climb in your own career. So I want to welcome you again to this conference. Like I said, if I keep talking, I'll develop so much, show you a whole lot that you need to know. But I know you are ready for this conference. I know your papers are sound, and I also know that you can present a whole lot. But one thing you must leave here, you need somebody that will help you to go to somewhere. Don't go alone. Don't be a one paper person. Oh, I want to be only in the paper. You will not last long. Those who make it in life are those who know the power of collaboration. Thank you very much. My time is up now. I want to thank you for the Shama and others for inviting me. And I want to also say for the convention, Rita, you people can take on, get in contact with us, and all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Celestine. Thank you so much. We are giving valuable time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot for your wonderful session and taking out time for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. All right.
All right. So that's it for the morning session. Now let's all meet at 4:30 p.m. for the valedictory session. Thank you everyone for joining.
अब ये हो गया आपके पहला